Commissioner Haas is here.
So here's the agenda. And again, I just wanted to let commissioners know that there was a mistake on the agenda when I posted it. The link to the meeting was from last month's meeting. And we would like to make an announcement that if anybody would like to join the meeting, this is the correction link to the meeting right now. And I would like to share that now. So for anyone that is doing the webinar, if you'd like to attend the webinar through MBA be an attendee, please go to https://CI-webinars/register/WN_EXJ3ZG-SS3EYFRKPOBJLHQ. Thank you.
I'm impressed you made it all the way through that.
And then I'll share the agenda right now.
Well,
All right.
Albert, I guess you're off the hook since Guy is here.
Yep.
Please let me know if you can view the agenda.
Yes, we can view it, but make it expand a little bit readable. If you can increase the font size, please.
Is that better?
That's better. Yeah.
Okay.
Good. Thank you.
Roll call.
Sorry, Commissioner Haas, can you unmute?
Commissioner Haas, you're mute.
There I am. Okay.
Okay.
So what about the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes.
I guess that falls to me then.
Would you like to call the meeting to order first?
Oh, there you go. We'll call the meeting to order at 7:04.
Great.
Then I can lead the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes, let me share that.
Let me tilt it back up to my face. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which
for which it stands,
One
One
nation,
nation, under
under
God,
God,
indivisible,
liberty and justice
Liberty
for
and
all.
justice for all.
for all.
Okay. That being handled, we go to, come on, change, there we are. What's next? Where's the agenda? All I see is us. There we come. Which brings us to roll call. I'm here.
Is anybody noting down?
Those who are
Yeah.
tracking who's attending should be calling the roll.
I'm Nasir Lalani, present here.
Ms. Fung, are you calling the roll?
Yes, I can call the roll. Sorry, I had to,
Trent.
Chair Chaudhry, Vice Chair Haas,
Present.
Commissioner Alcorn,
Here.
Commissioner Bao,
Here.
Commissioner Leilani,
Yeah.
Commissioner Lay,
Here.
Commissioner Wong.
Here.
So, and Commissioner Pandy,
Present.
Mayor Tran,
Present. Thank you, everybody.
Hey.
I'm doing some tutoring right now in the household, so please bear with me. I'm watching.
okay.
Yeah.
Toot toot.
We have Chair Chaudhry absent. So seven present. And then we'll pass it back to Vice Chair Haas.
Okay. Any alternates to be seated?
Yes, one, Commissioner Pandy.
Yep.
Good deal. Then we go to approval of agenda.
I propose to approve. Mr. Lalani.
Somebody could second that.
I'll second
Commissioner
it.
Bao, I second.
Thank you. Those in favor? Aye.
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 Opposed? No. Approved. Now we go to the approval of meeting minutes. Any corrections? I can't do much because I wasn't there. Uh-oh. How about right side? There you go. Any objections, corrections, adjustments?
I propose to approve agenda.
I second.
Okay, and those in favor, aye.
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 Those opposed, no. Those abstaining, me.
So
Okay,
6 ayes and 1 abstention.
which moves us to the public forum. Anybody got any input for us?
There are no public forum attendees.
Okay. Do we have any announcements? Mhm.
We do have a presentation from Commissioner Pandy tonight on order measurement and reporting solutions.
Go for it.
Do you want to share or should I? All right, so I'll share.
Okay. Sooner or later. There it comes. Hey,
Should be able to see it. Okay.
odor. Oh, what a stinker.
Yeah, it's not order, it's odor. So let me put it in presentation mode. So we are not here to talk about what is the problem with odor, why it's taken so long and things like that. So I'm mostly concentrating on what, as our commissioners, what can we do and what technologies exist that can capture in a better way or in a scalable way.
All right.
So just going on the background, like this is more on the background, like we, if you see Newbie Island composting is one of the major concerns. Like there have been lawsuits, there have been as well as a lot of complaints. Like Bay Area Air Quality Management District is a public agency which monitors the air quality, and there are multiple researches going on. One also initiated by Mayor Tran in Milpitas, and then a couple of folks are looking into this odor problem. So at a high level, there are multiple sources that we are trying to identify, like what is a possible source, and the other item is what is the odor, like what gases constitute the odor. So so we have spent money in identifying whether it's coming from ponds or it's coming from, I'll just go the top four: Newbie Island, landfills, and composting. So there is a recyclable material there, and there is composting operation, and composting where you use bacteria to break down complex substances, and that could be the resultant is certain gas, and that could be causing this odor. So on Zanker Drive, so these are in San Jose, so not within Milpitas area. So they have like landfill and composting, and there is a zero waste energy development facility, and there is a wastewater treatment plant as well in Santa Clara. So they are all showed in the diagram here. You can just go through that. And what do we do currently? So there is a odor hotline, and folks are encouraged to call this odor hotline, and then an inspector comes at your house, and it happens at different times of day. So there is no real identification of what is causing this odor. So I'll go more on the prototype building for capturing this. And if you have any comments, Mayor Tran, if you want to add anything, just go ahead.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. Yeah, just certainly a very interesting item we have here tonight amongst our great commission. We are using science and technology for this odor study. And this is just one part tonight. So I believe we're just sort of accepting the report and having some thoughts on the next time the item comes back around. But from my update, we've collected data using scientific labs in different parts. I believe one may be in Southern California. As a city, we are conducting a study, but also the Bay Area Air Quality Management also, if I may say, but we've pinpointed the source of the odor. I know, Commissioner Haas, I hear you. And Commissioner Haas is very well versed with our community. But no, we've pinpointed, there's been talk, I think historically in Milpitas, where there were different theories on where the odor came from. I call it the air pollution, actually, whether it was the salt ponds or the Zanker facility or the wastewater treatment plant, all very interesting here in these parts. But we were able to collect the data and have really narrowed it down close to upper 90s, 99% Newbie Island composting. So now I believe the next step is waiting on the labs to come back with what's actually in the air pollution, atmospheric science, particles and such. So those are my only comments. That's what I would tell to the community if I held the town hall. That's where we are. My main concern is the public health risk. What is in the air? Will this cause long-term effects, cancer? I don't know, but that's the problem our community needs to know. And if the air pollution is to a level past a health threshold, then we need to take action as a city. But in the event it's not, then we'd have to cross that bridge when we get there. So thank you for your time. I try not to talk too much during these commissions. It's all about the commissioners. Thank you.
Sure.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Yeah, so I'll go into what it involves as a prototype building. So since it took us so long, like more than 10 years, we have been with this odor issue. So what is the hypothesis? So the hypothesis is two areas we need to identify: what is causing the odor and what location, and then what is the constituent of the odor. So one of the areas that folks have been identifying is hydrogen sulfide, which is H2S. But again, you cannot just say that. You need to prove that this hydrogen sulfide, your hypothesis is correct or not. So the way to go about is you start in a radial direction from your suspected source and go outwards. And like the hypothesis is, as you go further away from Milpitas, your parts per million of this particular gas will reduce. Say just at the composting facility, it's 5, but as you go away from that direction, it's going to reduce to 4, 3, 2. So how granular can you measure? And if H2S is not the right gas, you don't see that, then your hypothesis is correct. It is incorrect, then you need to move on to other gases, say methane, NH4, or carbon monoxide. So there are multiple gases that you can use. So first is the hypothesis. Number 2 is you to prove that hypothesis, you use a certain prototype which can capture this data and log it at an hourly level. And you are also having geolocation markers with it, like with this particular prototype, where is it located and what is it collecting? So you collect a lot of data, consult with statisticians of what constitutes unhealthy data or wind direction, what are the different areas that you need to measure, and what constitutes an insight. Like you saw 10 of methane, 5 of hydrogen sulfide. Does that constitute an insight that this gas is the one for smell? And you have to corroborate with the manual reportings. So people are calling the odor hotline, and can you at that time is the data that you're collecting, does that corroborate with the odor hotline numbers? And this is scaling the solution. Like if you can come up with a sensor, like we talked about, you are going in a radial direction from the point of origin. So how can you distribute it? How can you scale it? So you are covering from possible source all the way going to very far away where you don't see smell or you don't see these parts per million increase. And it's just collecting data over a period of time, like it's over multiple months, and then how can you create insights? So moving on, so this is more showing what can be done as a prototype. Like this diagram on the left is showing move radially outwards. And this is like on Amazon and multiple places, you can buy this kind of a device which tells your hydrogen sulfide, carbon monoxide level is this, like this is the parts per million at that point. So you need to have corroboration of this data. And like if you do a prototype, like if you're already in a hypothesis level, so there are cheap sensors. So this is like a hydrogen sulfide sensor, and you can use it in somebody's home, and these connect via Bluetooth or Wi-Fi, possibly to the home's Wi-Fi, and it can just gather data daily, hourly. You can just set it up, and so it's fairly straightforward to set this up, and like if we need to go to do some prototyping, this is the way to do, and we put it in lots of volunteers' homes, so that we are covering the whole of Milpitas, and starting from landfill all the way to Ed Levin County Park. Now, if we don't want it fixed, so this what I'm showing is we can also collect it. Because geolocation is important. Where are you located? How the wind is blowing, and so if you don't want it static, then the possible ways to do it is put it on a bus where it's going through the city, and so you are collecting at different locations during different times of the day, and to come up with such a device is like, if you're in a bus, it needs certain power supply, charging. So the way, like nowadays, like Fitbit kind of devices are there, and there are devices which measure air quality as well, like ring-like devices. So a person can wear it in a, like if it's not in a bus, so maybe I just put my face here, but it could be any commissioner just carrying a ring which has a hydrogen sulfide sensor in there, and all he does in a day is he charges it for 20 minutes, and there is a mobile app which can connect via Bluetooth to this sensor and just collect data throughout the day and then put it in a data store. So reports can be generated. So I think we didn't explore a movable device, which is kind of a novel way to collect data on a faster rate. So this one is showing how a whole scalable system gets built in, where you have a manual reports call-in as well. So you basically, the data that's going on to the dashboard, it's coming from multiple places. It can be coming from the prototype that you have built that are in fixed locations, prototype which are in movable locations, and so somebody is corroborating that data that the manual somebody called in, and at that time all these devices that were collecting that data about hydrogen sulfide, they too were showing a parts per million increase in terms of the presence of that particular gas. And yeah, so if you cannot identify that, like if the person says he can smell it, but the data is not showing that it's parts per million increase, then maybe your hypothesis is incorrect and you need to come up with a different mechanism. So that's about it. Like we looked at like what kind of sensors can be built, and there are existing like SpO2 sensors for COVID-19. Folks have been experimenting with people wearing rings which can measure SpO2. So if you can measure SpO2, you can also measure hydrogen sulfide and other gases. So this is kind of a device can be brought in, and we don't need too many of them, maybe 100 or 200 of them, and these are not at fixed locations, moving throughout the day, so we collect more data. Yeah, so that's about it. So any questions around this prototyping or?
Looks like we've got a good source of data here.
Is H2S dangerous?
Stinky.
Other than it smells bad.
Above a certain level, like so air quality measurement, like all these gases, if they exceed a certain threshold, they need to be called out.
Question. I mean, this is Nasir Lani, Commissioner. How much does a ring cost about approximately for sensors? Suppose we buy it in 20 or 100 of those.
Yeah, so we looked at it. Its cost was coming around $200
per thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
But if we go Arduino route, it could be possibly smaller, but the ring ones, they need a USB charger and a Bluetooth module in it. And if you add Wi-Fi, then it's not, the form factor becomes larger, you cannot wear it. So
Awesome. Thank you.
I see. So the ring can connect to your phone, and then that will send data back then.
yes, so there's an app running on your phone, which is collecting that.
So then what does the city do with all this data?
Yeah, so the city, right, like the reports, dashboards can be created of this, and then some analysis needs to be done. And depending upon that analysis, we need, like, right now, Bay Area Air Quality Management District and both Milpitas, we are trying to identify what is the source and what is the parts per million data that we have. Have you narrow it down? So
Mhm.
so city has to take some action once they identify that this is the gas, and then they identify that it's say radially it's coming from this particular landfill, or so that's the insight that this data collection should be able to provide.
Mhm.
And then it's up to the council or the county what to do with the source that's generating this.
I thought I
Okay,
heard
so
it. Yeah, I'm sorry.
go ahead. Go ahead. Your
Yes,
turn.
you're probably saying the same thing, but I thought I heard in the previous presentation that the proposal is to first identify the gas, and then once they know what it is, then there's a proposed solution to capture that gas, and thereby remove it from the air.
Yes, Mayor
Mhm.
Tran here as well. I do want to add to the discussion very shortly here. The odor study is actually my proposal some years ago.
Mhm.
The council approved it, funded it, and now we're seeing the work of it. And as I continue to call Milpitas home for the rest of my life, I will, even if I'm in office or not, I'm still going to be working with council members and mayors to ensure that the work will have a long-term positive impact. My plan is, in the event that there is air pollution and detrimental particles that are evidence to show long-term negative public health effects, our city has an opportunity there to make a decision, which is to either work with the landfill operator on minimizing those impacts furthermore, or possibly taking legal action, litigation, perhaps, because I think as a city, it is our duty to ensure that our residents aren't exposed to harmful things. Not so much on the level of Aaron Brockovich, but you know, along those lines. So that's the long-term plan.
Yep.
And I'm okay with the landfill as long as they are not emitting harmful air pollution. I think.
Cool. Okay. Anything else on this agenda item?
Good presentation. Thank you.
Yay, thank you.
Thank you.
So where do we stand on the agenda?
Do we need to receive and file?
We could certainly note receipt and file.
I have a question about this. What is the next step involved from here? Where are we going from here? Are we taking this to the city level, county level? What are we going to do the next steps? Because we've been doing this study for quite a long time now.
Mhm.
Let's get some fruit out of it and make some progress in the direction. So that will be helpful to Milpitas residents. And probably the mayor, Richard Turn, may probably comment. What do you think?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm still here.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. I wish that we had the final study results, the data today. I would love to go in there with the city attorney and explore some of the legal options. I love winning litigation. Been part of a few litigation matters, and I love winning for Milpitas and for our residents first and foremost. But we're still going through the study. We're not done yet. We need the labs we need to collect more information from the source now that we've pinpointed it. Yeah, and then we could really study more from the source rather than all sources, but the actual source that's evidenced. And so now that we're pinpointing the one location, we're gathering another stage of data collection, and that will go to a lab and we'll break down every harmful air pollution there may be. So we're still, I would say we're at the midway point.
I see.
And so there's no action yet. Thank you.
So have we approached the Nearby Island to see that if they would like to get involved with our study and help us so that it'll be beneficial to both the parties?
Yeah, we've tried that in the past,
didn't work?
before my time in office. It didn't work out. Longtime residents here, like Mr. Haas, are familiar with some of the community affairs that have happened, and I've chosen to go this route with the council support because there's no arguing science for the most part.
Right.
I believe a judge in this county court system will do what's right if there is evidence, but we're still going to work with our partners at the newbie. Once we get the results every step of the way. I actually am friends with the government affairs person over at newbie, and so it's a fine line, and I know that this is probably the best strategy our city can take with the most value. So I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Thank you so much.
Which brings us to item 9, business items, work plan discussion, digital inclusion strategy. Now I have to apologize. The monitor I'm viewing on, the upper left third of my screen is blocked from something's wrong with my monitor. So it says digital inclusion strategy, and I don't see who owns it. A little more down, scroll it a little down. K. Can't see the rest of it. K. Lee and A. Pandy. What's happening with digital inclusion strategy?
Before I go into it, I just would like to have a question for Commissioner Pandy.
Sure.
Sorry to interrupt, commissioners, but this work plan discussion is how to conduct work, the work plan goals moving forward. There's been discussion, and I know that Daniel had spoken to Chair Chaudhry about how we were going to move forward in terms of how you guys are going to be working. I know that if you decide to break out into your groups, those would have to be a subcommittee, and those would have to be separate public meetings that we would have to schedule. If not, then we would be working within this meeting on all the goals for the work plan. So that's why we have this item on there for this meeting, so that you guys can discuss how you guys want to conduct the goals for conduct your work plan goals moving forward.
Well, I'm not entirely sure what digital inclusion strategy includes and where we're going with it.
Yeah, before I get into it, my question for Commissioner Pandy is, as far as I understand, you mentioned to Daniel that you wanted to be more of an advisor to the project. So would you like to stay as an advisor to the project, or be the co-owner and get more involved in the project?
Yeah, so I think I'm new, so I got put into a lot of work plans, and I figure out which one I can contribute most. I think we had some meetings together, but yeah, so I'll keep it as an advisory in this. If you need my help, I'm available.
Okay, cool. I will notify Daniel as well in case he needs to make any changes. As for the digital inclusion strategy, just to get a recap, we are working on trying to understand the population of Milpitas more better and the residents in regards to getting access to reliable internet within their homes or within their area. And so far, we have finalized the survey, and I have received confirmation from Cheryl, who is the superintendent of MUSD. So she will be sending out a link to my online survey through MUSD social media channels. And I am still finalizing this information, but hopefully she will be able to email every single MUSD student with my survey link as well. And within that survey link, it just has various questions about the person's background and any challenges they may have faced at home or in their area in regards to reliable internet access, and whether or not they would want reliable internet access in a specific location that they can designate for us or comment for us. So yeah, we have basically we have a good partnership right now with MUSD to get the survey out. I'm still following up with some other contacts who have not been replying back to me. Yeah, I mean, we've been in talks with them back then, but they've been kind of lagging, so I'm still following up with them. Some contacts include John McCon, who's in charge of recreational services, and he's also the point of contact for the library commission, and he's the point of contact for the senior center as well. So definitely he's an important person of contact, and I'm still trying to follow up with him. I'm also following up with Robert Jung from the Chamber of Commerce, since he said that he would be willing to share my survey through his channels as well. So I'm trying to follow up with him and trying to follow up with some other nonprofits, such as the Milpitas Food Pantry, so we can spread physical surveys at their locations. But yeah, so far, MUSD is the only confirmed partner that we have finalized. Everyone else, I'm still trying to follow up to get a final confirmation before we start printing out all these physical surveys.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. Goal 2 is 5G implementation status. I defer to Alan Bao.
Sure, Sam. Thank you for 5G. Actually, Daniel's sent us an update that we are still in contact with T-Mobile to try to get them a presentation from them in the near future.
Mhm.
And that's it.
Okay. Well, I've got no 5G on my Pixel 3 yet, so I'm in no position to contribute. What about goal 3, odor sensors? I think we've been dealing with that for several minutes now. Anything else to add on the odor sensors? Apparently not. Traffic congestion, what a wonderful topic. But Chowdhury's not here. What about Jay Wong?
I don't really have any updates at this time.
Plenty of traffic out there, but we don't know what we're doing with it.
Yeah, it seems like it's going back to normal. There's this dashboard that Google gives out, and it shows that the traffic is starting to return back to COVID level. But as to what to do next with that, I'm not quite sure.
Gotcha. Which brings us down to item 5, goal 5, item 5, IT technology project on Bao and Alcorn.
Yes, so for IT, again, an update from Daniel reported that IT department is working on about 9 projects currently.
Oh yeah.
Including cybersecurity assessment and disaster recovery and so on. So we'll keep the door open for the IT department and for updates and any advice or any help that they'll need.
Cool.
But none at this point.
Okay. Which brings us down to item 10, discussion of future items. Any
I've
future?
got one more thing, Guy.
Yo.
On the ITG project, do we have a response from staff on where we stand with getting a tour of the 911 dispatch center?
Oh yeah.
Commissioner Alcorn, that was your question, correct? Daniel asked me to take down the questions that you have, and I will let him know, and then we will get the answer for you and present it to you.
Okay,
cool.
Two questions. And number one is, when do we get the physical tour of the 911 dispatch center?
Okay.
I know last month it was dependent on personnel because we're still recovering from COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And the question number two is, do we have a progress report on the construction of the, Calaveras, Calaveras Fire Station?
Okay. I will get that to him.
Cool.
So just quickly on item 9 for the work plan, will you guys, commissioners, are you okay with working on the plan within our meeting moving forward?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm speaking for myself, but sure.
Sure, yeah, it's a working meeting, sure.
Why multiply the meetings, you know?
Okay, great. So do we have
Sorry,
consensus?
can you just explain a little bit further about what that would entail?
So I guess in terms of like what you normally break out into your groups and have and plan out what you're going to do, you're going to make those decisions within our meeting for the digital inclusion strategy. So as an example, so like, so right now you're setting, or you have made partnerships with MUSD, and then so in the next meeting, I guess if you haven't already made a set timeline when the survey is going out, you can have that discussion within our and within this technology meeting, and then set the plans and then your tasks for what you're supposed to be doing for that goal plan.
Okay, and are we still allowed to have our own breakout sessions as well? Because the meetings are once a month, so in case we need to, you know, communication.
I will have to ask Daniel about that. I think the only reason why we're trying to have it within our meeting is because so we don't have to, you know, have a separate subcommittee meeting that is also part of, you know, would be in restriction to the Brown Act, or so that's why that's why he's encouraging us to have the work plan work discussions within this meeting.
Fair enough.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay. Which brings us down to liaison reports. Does Mayor Tran have anything to report?
Sorry, but before that, I think
Yep.
I move to receive and file for the work plan.
Second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? You got it.
Okay.
Thank you for that. Mayor Tran, anything?
Yes, Commissioner, I just want to say great job, everybody. This is a very efficient meeting, and those are the best meetings to have here in town in City Hall. Get in, you know, I said, get in, get out, get in, get it done, get it out, and go home to your family. But I'll continue to encourage members of this commission, just like any member of the council, to bring forward any proposals, any great ideas you may see out there in the technology world. If you bring it to this commission and your colleagues support it, we can move those items to the council and they can be possibly approved. They could actually be a lot of value. You all each can change our city's course right here in this commission. And I'm always encouraging commission members and council members to come forward with the great ideas that'll make our city special. And I believe in each and every one of you to do that. So thank you very much.
Good deal. Thank you.
Oh, I have a question for the mayor.
Yeah, go for it.
Yes.
Has the deadline already passed in regards to sending in comments about using that budget surplus that the city has? Is it too late for that, or has it already been used or allocated?
Well, we'll have some updates pretty soon here at the council meeting with another set of budget surplus.
Ooh.
And so our city's actually doing very, very well right now with our financial health. Just worried about the weed abatement, but that's a different story for another day. But you know, there's no deadline. I think surplus or not, we have a budget every year, and there's room for great ideas and proposals to be funded. So I wouldn't wait around. Let's say you propose an idea today. I can give an example for everybody. You know, you propose electric bicycles. I know it's not a new idea. You propose, I don't know, let's just say you propose something, and you could bring it to your next commission meeting, but that's not for another month or two, I believe. And so that takes 2 months. Let's say 2 months from now, it'll be, what is it, October, November. Let's say you're meeting November. And so now the commission here is going to have to work on it. And, they may not approve it that night. They may need another meeting to go over it. There could be some amendments. There could be some adjustments. And so from November, it'll move to January. And then January, you'll finally approve it in the commission here. And then they'll move to council. Now the council's got a whole list of things from every other commission. And don't worry, I'll fight to get this item on the city council meeting. Don't worry, folks, I got you. But it may take another 2 months, let's say, and then let's say March, it comes to the council from the this commission here, science, technology, and such. Now you're in March and you're looking to get this idea approved. Maybe there's products, equipment, software, something that can really change the course of the city. Now it's March, and now the council may need till April or May to make this quick decision that just showed up, and then the budget's going to be approved in June. And if you don't make that June deadline every year, then you gotta wait for the next fiscal year or so. That's the sort of the annual deadline for anything here in the city. So I would just be mindful. You want to always come out as fast as you can as a commissioner or council member. Always come out as fast as you can with these items. It's a race. It's a horse race. I'm in City Hall myself. I'm giving you my advice.
Gotcha.
I'm coming in, I'm pushing things out immediately like rapid fire, but that's the answer to your question.
And to propose an idea, we would email your official city email address.
Well, you would bring it to I would say, if related to this commission, because here's the thing, you can bring something to the council, but then we're just going to bounce it back to the commission. And the commission, that's why being a commissioner is so important, each and every one of you. Your time here going over these items, even the odor study, you can find a bad thing in the odor study right now and you can cancel the whole thing because you found a fault. Being on this commission is not a joke. This is a very serious part of your time. Whether you can lift something up or put something down. Being a commissioner is very important. If Kevin, you brought something to me to the council, I brought it to the council. Let's say I tried to rush it. Nope. Got to send it through this commission 99 out of 100 times. So, that's why I encourage you to look to your chair and your vice chair here at this commission. And, during a meeting like tonight, even before we adjourn, you can say, I'd like to put a future agenda item on, and, Fung from our IT department will process it at the direction of the chair. And so, but yeah, you can email your chair. How about that?
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, this brings us down to the item of adjournment.
Thank you, everybody, by the way. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody want to adjourn?
Oh, I have one more question.
Go for
the
it.
chair and vice chair.
Yeah.
Since Daniel's not here, I guess he doesn't have input, but do you know when the deadline is to, have our presentations ready to report to city council? Because I know that's coming up soon.
I'd hand that to the mayor.
Can you repeat that again?
Do you know when a deadline is for us to have our presentations ready to present to city council about our work and projects?
Okay.
Because I know it's coming up soon.
Yeah, I know you're right.
Yeah.
What item is it?
I think he's talking about the goals 1 through 5. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Daniel mentioned something about we have to present about what we've done so
That's
far.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the annual
Yeah, the
report,
work plan. Yeah. No, it's if the commission is ready, then we'll send it up to the council, and based on our pretty much, I call it a list of things to do.
Mhm.
We'll see where it fits in, and I suspect that we'll look at it as soon as possible. So it'll happen soon, more sooner than later. Now, a lot of times these
there's no
work
exact
plans,
deadline though, right? No
Oh
exact.
no, I don't
okay.
think there's an exact deadline, but
Got it.
When it's
Yeah.
ripe, you bring it forward.
Yeah, I know this commission is not lackadaisical. This commission's this is the most efficient, one of the most efficient commissions we have for, obvious reasons. But I have no doubt that we'll get things done expeditiously.
Thank you.
Commissioner Lay, I will make sure that that Daniel is aware of your question regarding deadlines for presentations to the council. So don't worry about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Commissioner Lay, I showed that last year we worked. Daniel put together the report in October, and we began working on it in September. So now is the correct time to ask about that.
Good deal. Okay, have we exhausted our agenda? Is it time for adjournment? Would
I move to
someone-
adjourn.
Okay, and a second.
Second.
I second.
Thank you. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No? Okay, we sit adjourned at 7:52. Thank you, folks.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.